Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how Disney had made me a bigger Star Wars fan. Yes, I am crediting Disney for making me a bigger Star Wars fan. So, a little bit of a backstory real quick. I've always known about Star Wars. My technically first moment of Star Wars was like the very end uh of Empire Strikes Back. Like literally the very end when Lando says we'll find a Han. Well, we'll rescue Han and we'll meet on Tatooine. That's technically my first Star Wars moment, but I wasn't really interested in it at the time. And I did play Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one, not the newer one. And that was because I wanted to spend time with my brother. And we had a PlayStation 2 back in the day, so it was a good way to connect with my brothers playing Battlefront 2. And my brother would always hate me playing as Darth Vader on Kashyyyk because I would always kick his butt if I was Darth Vader on Kashyyyk. So he said, "Okay, you cannot never be a go on the Imperial side. So if we are so happen to go on Kashyyyk again, we have to be on the same side. I don't care." So yeah, my brother when it came to like Battlefront 2, at least with me with Darth Vader, he was a sore loser. But even then, I wasn't really a big fan of Star Wars. I didn't even classify myself as a fan because I only played that game for my brother, to hang out with my brother. Also watched the original Clone Wars series that lasted 2 seasons. Mostly because of my brother, and I thought that was like one of the most boring things to watch at the time. Me now, I love that cartoon, but me then I thought Star Wars was one of the most stupid things ever. But the thing that got me into Star Wars, officially, was I count as like my first time becoming a Star Wars fan. Which I say this part a lot in my live streams. It's when Anakin and Obi-Wan fight on Mustafar. But it was when Obi-Wan cuts off Anakin's limbs. And then Anakin gets burned in the Mustafar lava pit. That's the thing that got me into Star Wars. Officially. So I rewatched Revenge of the Sith. Really enjoyed that. Then I went back to watch Phantom Menace all the way to Return of the Jedi. Because I was 11 at the time when I got into Star Wars. And when I got into Star Wars, there were only 6 Star Wars movies. And the Clone Wars show, I believe the old Ewok show, and the old holiday special. Which I dislike the holiday special. Like, I count that as the worst Star Wars in general. It's the original holiday special because it had no action and was boring as hell. But so yeah, I watched episodes 1 through 6 and I loved it. My mother and one of my cousins got me the complete saga at that time, which was only 6 movies. And I annoyed the crap out of my parents and my brother and my sister with that amount of times I had watched Star Wars. And don't get me wrong, Star Wars, like, the George Lucas era Star Wars had flaws too. Like, the whole Padme and Anakin scenes on Naboo. I always thought that those scenes were kind of cringy. Still do to this day. So, in pre-Disney Star Wars, whenever I would watch Attack of the Clones, every single time when I saw Anakin and Padme alone on Naboo, I would literally skip the scene. I'm not joking. That's how much I disliked the Padme Anakin scenes. Like, I found them to be cringy. And to a certain extent, I still go by this. I felt even when I was younger, even though when I first got into Star Wars, I loved Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks is a pretty good character. But I thought that the Phantom Menace was like the most boring Star Wars movie out of the prequels. And I still, to a certain extent, agreed with my younger self. It still is, but as I'm older, I have found more enjoyment, found more have newfound respect for the Phantom Menace, and I think it was like I'm personally saying that because yeah, it has action and has one of the best fighting scenes ever in this and best scores ever was is the Duel of the Fates scene when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fights Darth Maul. That's like one of the best fighting scenes in Star Wars and movie history. Period. And one of my friends that's extremely dear to me, she said that the Phantom Menace is her favorite, and I'm happy that's her favorite Star Wars movie. Out of the prequels, I still like feel like even though I have a better appreciation for the Phantom Menace as I'm an adult, I still find out of the prequels the Phantom Menace to be somewhat boring. Like compared to like Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Maybe because they added a bit more action in the other two movies in that. I don't know. But there are redeeming factors. There are factors that I loved way more than the things I disliked. Like I said, the Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan and Anakin, the pod racing scene, when we meet Anakin, because I thought that was cool, and then I liked the Jedi arena, the Geonosis arena bit in Attack of Clones back when it was only Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme, and when I was a Jedi helping them out too, and the whole Jango Fett thing. I did enjoy the whole cloning bit. I met the kid who played Boba Fett in Attack of the Clones. It was cool. And even though this kind of gets shit on a bit, I did really enjoy the Yoda and Dooku fight. Like after I did enjoy the Dooku I did enjoy that fight, lightsaber fight, but I really enjoyed it when Yoda came into play. And then Revenge of the Sith is my favorite prequel movie. I like Order 66, still do, because it was depressing to see the Jedi get killed, even after the Clone Wars happened. Watching the 7 seasons of the Clone Wars. If you guys want me to, I could put more of what I love. Like, I could make a video of what I love about the prequels and what I disliked about the prequels in a separate video if you guys want me to. And then the original trilogy, just let me know in the comment section if you guys want me to do that, as you guys see my cat playing on a jump cut. Okay, I apologize for that. So, and I really enjoyed the original trilogy. I really do too. I felt like the Vader Obi-Wan scene in A New Hope is underrated. And I said this in a few live streams when I commented, and I think I might have said this in one of my live streams on my channel, if not, on either my friend Geeky Pixie's channel or my friend Orange Hat Refuse channel. When I said, I feel like the Anakin or Vader Obi-Wan fight is underrated, and that's, I feel like it's partially due because that fight had no music. Sure, it's okay to see them doing, okay, I'm going to throw my lightsaber, but I'm going to slash you too, but I'm going to throw my lightsaber around, then I'm going to slash you too. It's fine to see that, but if they had music along with that, I feel like more fans would love that fight. And I do genuinely feel like that Obi-Wan Vader fight is underrated. And I do like the whole when Vader refused to Luke, he's his father. When Vader finds out that he's a father, when he finds out that he has his daughter that he pretty much interrogated and on the first Death Star, and how he was redeemed in the end. Again, if like with the prequels, if you guys want me to make a separate video of telling you guys everything that I love about the original trilogy and then everything that I disliked about the original trilogy, let me know, and I'll also make a separate video for that, or separate videos for that. So, finally getting to the topic of this video, and that is how Disney made me a bigger Star Wars fan, because I was already a big Star Wars fan pre-Disney. So once it was announced that Lucasfilm was bought out by Disney, I was so excited, saying, "Yes, we get to have more Star Wars movies! Yay!" And I think that was everybody's reaction was, "Yay, we get more Star Wars movies!" Because I think at the time we didn't really weren't going to get more Star Wars movies. I'm good, because I didn't want my cat to steal my thunder. But, planes, but, and at the time, I think the only things that were coming out new for Star Wars were books, video games, and the Clone Wars cartoon that was canceled after like 5 seasons. Brought back, well, it was in the process of having a 6th season, but it was kind of cut short. The 6th season was released on Netflix. The first 5 was released on Cartoon Network. And I do remember waking up every morning just to watch the Clone Wars, back when I was on Cartoon Network. And don't get me wrong, I am not complaining. It's like, I really enjoyed that. My favorite book series, like my favorite books for what's now called Legends, is Fate of the Jedi, where it had a Abaleth in it, and the Kenobi book. And then when Disney announced that they were decanonizing everything that was canon up to that point and making that Legends, I was kind of sad, like, oh, okay. Because I did, like I said, did enjoy the Fate of the Jedi book series, where it had Luke Skywalker getting exiled. He was trying to go in the footsteps of Darth Caedus, and with his son Ben Skywalker. And I did enjoy Kenobi, and I did enjoy my favorite game in what's now called Legends is The Force Unleashed. Even though my complaint about The Force Unleashed 2 is that it was a too short of a game that I could easily beat in anybody can easily beat in 2-3 days, I still enjoyed The Force Unleashed 2 as well. But The Force Unleashed 1 is my favorite Star Wars Legends game. Gems of Story. Tying with the original Battlefront 2. So, when The Force Awakens came out, I really enjoyed it. I was sad we didn't get to see Han, Luke, and Leia together. But I kind of had the mindset saying, okay, whatever episode 8 is going to be, yeah, we're going to get an explanation why. A really cool explanation why we didn't see that trio be together. So I was keeping an open mind. Rogue One came out. I know it has some reshoots, but I really enjoyed Rogue One. I liked it. I saw that with my sister. My sister had surprised me because she knew how much I wanted to see Rogue One. Because if you know me, you know I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I really enjoyed Rogue One. I generally do. I still to this day, I think Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie. And then The Last Jedi came out, and at first, I was like, yay! I love The Last Jedi! I love The Last Jedi! Yay! And then, because I saw it 3 times in theaters. I've seen the sequel trilogy East movie and the sequel trilogy 3 times in theaters. And then, as I sat on it, and as that hype went away, it allowed me time to think, saying, what did I really enjoy about The Last Jedi? Well, I did enjoy seeing the Luke we knew come back at towards the end of the movie. I did enjoy the first lesson. I did enjoy. I can kind of get behind the second lesson, even though that was more of a debate. Excuse me, I have to get water. I would have enjoyed seeing the third lesson not in a deleted scene. But the third lesson wasn't a third lesson, and I would have enjoyed seeing one of the 3 lessons that Luke promised Rey to be a lightsaber practice session. I do, and I did enjoy seeing Yoda whacking Luke. I thought that was pretty, it was great seeing Yoda. And yeah, I thought Carrie Fisher brought it. Sad that she died shortly before The Last Jedi came out. Rest her soul. But yeah, those were the things that really stick up in my mind that I really enjoyed. And I was saying the other stuff was either in or I was frustrated with, how they killed off Luke Skywalker. I was frustrated how they killed off Luke Skywalker. I don't mind them killing off Luke Skywalker. I don't mind them killing off my favorite characters. But Luke Skywalker deserved a better death than what he got in The Last Jedi. So, I was so I was, after the hype went down, I was like, I'm more about The Last Jedi than I liked it. And I disliked how the people at Lucasfilm reacted to when fans criticized The Last Jedi. That put me away. And then The Rise of Skywalker came out, which I like to call it The Rise of Palpatine because it made Rey a Palpatine. I don't care what she says towards the end of the movie. She's not a Skywalker. She's a Palpatine. What I enjoyed out of Rise of Palpatine is seeing Luke race the X-wing out of the water. Seeing C-3PO saying, "Taking one last look at my friends," even though that line was I felt for C-3PO, but most of the time, Rey, Finn, or Poe would have told has told C-3PO to shut up, literally. So in my head I said, even though that I feel for you to a certain extent, it kind of gets ruined because these guys are not really your friends. Of 90% of the time, they telling you to shut up. So that's just me. And I do like that conflict that Kylo Ren had in the movie. And I did like the when Lando at the fighting scene when Lando comes in with the other ships. I thought that was pretty cool. Even though it had a Avengers Endgame vibe for me, but I still thought that was pretty cool. Or I should say. But in reality, I'm in about the Rise of Skywalker. The only thing that really wowed me, is really Luke racing the X-wing out. Yes, sure, Lando's entrance into the final battle did wow me. But every single time because I watched The Rise of Palpatine 4 or 5 times in general. And all those 4 or 5 times I've seen the movie, the scene that gets me the most, that always gets me, is when Luke races, Force Ghost Luke races the X-Wing out of the ocean. Like, yay! Like, Luke couldn't do that in Empire Strikes Back. Now he's doing it in Rise of Palpatine. I'm like this. And I like how they made Luke not really grumpy. Acknowledge, okay, yeah, I let fear control me, which is why I was on this island. That was a mistake. Kind of like a fuck you to Rian Johnson. So the sequel trilogy was, I feel like it was kind of a letdown with the hype I had for it. And then Solo happened. It was a fun movie, but nobody was asking for a Han Solo movie. Let's be real, nobody was asking for a Han Solo movie. Even though I did like Alden Ehrenreich, I think that's the same as Han Solo, like his performance. Even though nobody can replace Harrison Ford. And I did like Billy D. Williams' performance as Lando, even though nobody can replace Billy D. Williams. But still, the worst part of Solo for me was L3. But so I was just telling you guys everything I loved, pretty much enjoyed about the sequel trilogy, and some of the things I disliked. I feel like the main issue I have with the sequel trilogy, or the Disney trilogy as a lot of fans like to call it, is they try to like force feed us. Oh yeah, female power, like, or Disney Star Wars, like female power. If you dislike females, well, like the females we dish out, then you're a sexist, dude. Ahsoka Tano was like when the Clone Wars movie first came out, she was one of the most disliked characters. I could see the criticism, but I was Team Ahsoka all the way. And I knew that we were going to have a television show, so yes, I got all the criticism with Ahsoka in the Clone Wars movie, but in my head I was saying, we got however many seasons in the Clone Wars show. We're going to see the growth of Ahsoka Tano. And long behold, we saw the growth of Ahsoka Tano in Clone Wars, Rebels, and a little bit that was like, and the episode that she guest starred in Mandalorian. Because I'm still pissed off how Disney like decided to go about the Gina Carano thing. I thought it was like hypocritical that they fired Gina Carano. But I am more mad that how they fired Gina Carano besides their reasoning. They should have done it privately, saying, okay, Gina Carano, you're fired. And then if they're going to take it publicly, saying, oh, we are sad to announce that Gina Carano is not going to be Cara Dune anymore. Besides, trying to humiliate the woman, publicly firing her. And she found out not too long, like, she literally found out at the same time as us fans did. So, like, there were better ways. And I wouldn't be so mad at Lucasfilm if they fired her in a better way. And until they make things right with Gina Carano, I will always be mad at Disney's Lucasfilm or Disney Star Wars for that. So besides trying to push stuff down, if you don't like our female characters, you're a sexist, or if you don't like our movies, you're a sexist, you're misogynistic, we're gonna call you these names, yada yada. Rey was OP as hell. The closest thing that we've seen her struggle with was her anger. That's about the closest thing to struggle that we ever got in the entire movies. Sure, she had daddy issues because she didn't have a father. Like Kylo Ren says, first she had Han Solo as her father figure, now Luke Skywalker. Yeah, she had father issues, but the closest struggle that we've seen Rey actually have was her anger. Really. But she was perfect at everything, so that was like, Anakin had more of a struggle. And we saw that in both the movies in the prequels, and I guess it can say the original Snoke when it was Vader, and in both Clone Wars series, Luke had more struggles than Rey, and we saw that in the original trilogy. And I would love to have a show that had like features Luke as heavy as it did Anakin. Leia, Han, Chewbacca, practically every single character. I shouldn't say practically, literally every single character that we've seen in the from episodes 1 through 6 had their struggles. It was good storytelling. We didn't really get that most of that in the sequel trilogy. And good character development. And I know I'm kind of making more jabs as a sequel trilogy, but the sequel trilogy. One of my friends says they could tell that Lucasfilm had a plan, but I don't feel like they really did. Like, sure, The Force Awakens, yeah, I'll agree with you. Agree with you guys who says they had a plan with The Force Awakens, but then Rian Johnson said, like, yeah, no, bits by. And then J.J. Abrams said, yeah, you fucked my plan up, so bits by, course correcting. How is it the MCU with like 20 plus movies over the course of 10 years with different directors could have made the MCU as great as it is today with the phase 1 through 3 than what Lucasfilm could do within 3 movies? Like, the MCU has proved that it doesn't matter if you have different directors. As long as you have an overall story sense and execute it right, where it will honor the comics a little bit, where it will also honor the fans and listen to the fans, then yeah, whatever storytelling you will make, at least most of the fans will enjoy. Why can't Lucasfilm do that with the sequel trilogy? It's no wonder why there's just like some fans that were saying, like, after, especially after like the Snyder Cut was released for the Justice League. It's no surprise to me that some fans are saying, release the Lucas cut of the sequel trilogy, because really, the current state of Star Wars, like the sequel trilogy had like really may have had a plan with the Force Awakens, like after the Force Awakens, but like set up like all these good possibilities, but they didn't execute it. It didn't really honor the fans all too much. The only times where I can, like, after the Force Awakens, like, if it honored any parts of the fans in the Force Awakens, the only times that I've seen it really honoring the fans was when Luke raised up the X-Wing in Rise of Palpatine. The music was good. I will never dox the music. John Williams is good. I enjoyed the music in the sequel trilogy. I enjoyed the music in Solo and Rogue One too. The music in all three, like the sequel trilogy, Solo, and Rogue One, were phenomenal. That is never my complaint. That's one of my favorite parts about Disney Star Wars. And so, so you're probably asking, how does that make you appreciate Star Wars more when you're pretty much trashing Disney Star Wars? It makes me appreciate the prequels and the original trilogy more. Because, yeah, the first 6 Star Wars movies may not exactly be perfect, but I can never claim that George Lucas never had a plan with the first 6 Star Wars movies. Sure, some of the execution could have been better. Like with the whole Padme and Anakin thing in Attack of the Clones. I felt like that could have been executed better. And the acting could have been a bit better too, like Liam Neeson, because I've seen Liam Neeson in Batman Begins and Taken, and he did the voice of Aslan in Chronicles of Narnia. And I felt like his weakest movie in terms of Liam Neeson's weakest acting, Liam Neeson's weakest movie in terms of acting was in The Phantom Menace. And I'd like to take this time to say, if any of you guys went after Ahmed Best, Kelly Marie Tran, or Hayden Christensen, or Jake Lloyd, or any of the other actors that you dislike the characters for and went after them and attacked them, shame on you. Fuck you. It's not their fault how their characters turned out. For the first 6 Star Wars movies, blame George Lucas. For the sequel trilogy, blame J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, and Rian Johnson. But do not ever go after the fans for the actors who had simply portrayed the characters. They did their job. It is the person who made the movies' fault whether or not you like the characters or not. Especially like Jake Lloyd. The people who came after Jake Lloyd for his acting, fuck you. Fuck you. If you're one of those people that had attacked Jake Lloyd for his acting in The Phantom Menace, or bullied him, I should say, get off my channel. Unsubscribe to me, please, because I don't want your subscription. I don't need your subscription. He was a kid actor. Sure, was his acting really good? I don't think it was the best he could have potentially done. Sure. But for a kid actor, I think it was pretty good. I always said I have different standards for kid actors and adult actors. And for my standards for kid actors, Jake Lloyd did a really good job as Anakin. I still stand by that. So whoever attacked Jake Lloyd, whoever bullied Jake Lloyd because of how he portrayed Anakin, fuck you. Unsubscribe to me if you attacked Jake Lloyd for his acting in The Phantom Menace, or try to bully him off. Just fuck you. But what's the sequel, Disney Star Wars, made me love about Star Wars more is that at least the first 6 Star Wars movies, and you can say the Clone Wars as well, including in there, at least had an overall story. From start to finish. And I do stand by, I think Rogue One complements the story that George Lucas was trying to tell from episodes 1 to 6. Because Rogue One takes place in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And I think Rogue One complements that so well. But that wasn't part of a trilogy. That was just a standalone movie. That so happens to kind of connect into the Force New Hope, I mean. So yeah, the first 6 Star Wars movies had a story. The romance for Anakin and Padme was hinted at. It was there. It was teased. The whole Rose and everything that led up to the kiss between Rose and Finn. The only time that was potentially hinted at that there was going to be any romance is that when Rose met Finn in The Last Jedi. Outside of that introduction scene, there was no hint that there was any romance. There was nothing to say that Finn or Rose were into each other. Especially Rose, outside of the first part. And then they never really explained the right arm for how C-3PO got his golden arm back. Well, say I know they explained in the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens game, but still, it would have been nice to have that explained in the movies. And the character development was good. I think it was good. The storytelling was good. The execution, yeah, here and there might could have had work here and there, but overall, this execution I did enjoy. And the first six Star Wars movies, and if you want me to put in Rogue One too, I'll put in Rogue One. Rogue One as well, on top of the first six Star Wars movies, made the whole entire Star Wars saga feel bigger. And the Clone Wars too. And you can say Rebels. Solo, okay, yeah, sure, but it felt somewhat contained. The sequel trilogy didn't make it the Star Wars universe feel bigger. And here's the thing, I really wanted to love the sequel trilogy. But I do still say that The Force Awakens is a really good movie, really decent movie in isolation, but the sequel trilogy is eh. Same with Solo. I think it's a fun movie to watch, but I think it's really eh. Like, especially with the Star Wars movie, because of '03 ruined it for me a bit. I think moving forward, and I did enjoy Mandalorian, but I think moving forward, if Disney wants any more of their content to gross higher in terms of like movies or TV show than like what Mandalorian or like the sequel trilogy or any more standalone movies, they need to listen to the fans more. And I get not every time fans are right, but at least listen to the fans. Listen to the criticism. Take it. Don't bash the fans. That's why I like the George Lucas era more than the Disney era more. That's why I like the George Lucas era more than the sequel trilogy or the Disney. Because at least the George era Star Wars, we didn't get called names. We didn't get put down because we had criticism towards the movies. Disney Star Wars, if we criticize the movies, we get labeled sexist or any other names. And for what? Because we have criticism towards a movie that we simply dislike? Like, come on, Star Wars. Come on, Disney. If you want fans to be with you guys, gotta take criticism and let's start listening to the fans more. Not focus on identity politics, focus on story. Which is why we love the prequels, originals so much. Which is why we love the Clone Wars cartoon or series. Both. Which is why I enjoyed watching Rebels. Which is why I also enjoyed watching Rogue One. Because I can admit, Rogue One might not be the best Star Wars movie, but it's definitely one of my favorites. It's the best Disney Star Wars movie, though. I do want to see Star Wars succeed. And yeah. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to jump cut because I had a burp and I did not want to burp on the camera. And you can say, well, the George Lucas era had some contradictions to it. And sure it did, like with the whole Shakti thing. Like, one way was she gets stabbed. Excuse me. She gets killed by General Grievous. She gets killed by Anakin Skywalker when he first became Darth Vader. And the third way was she gets killed by Starkiller. So yeah, that's just one example of the few contradictions was now like Legends had for Star Wars, sure. But also Disney's Star Wars has so many contradictions. It literally contradicts itself. Like, I remember reading in the novel when because I don't own the novel of The Force Awakens, but I do remember reading it from the library. That Snoke says, I've seen the rise and I've seen the fall of the Empire. Now he's a clone. And now, he's a clone of Luke? So if he's a clone of Luke, then how the hell can he see the rise and fall of the Empire? How? And that's just one of the many contradictions that Disney's made. Literally, Disney has contradicted nearly everything that they've done. And I think us fans will be behind Geo the Rock. Sure, a few fans might be, but for the most part, what I've seen, fans aren't that excited about Geode. I'm not big of a fan of Geode either. From what the description I've read or heard. So, yeah, seeing Disney, Star Wars, going after fans who dislike their content, seeing them constantly contradict themselves, and not really having an exact plan for a trilogy makes, and them cannot take in criticism, makes me better appreciate Star Wars. But what I mean by that is the first six Star Wars movies. The first six Star Wars movies, the Clone Wars, and both Clone Wars, and Legends, what's now called Legends. It makes me better appreciate Legends and the first six Star Wars movie, the George Lucas era Star Wars. It makes me better appreciate the George Lucas era Star Wars. I'm just letting you know, current day Lucasfilm, if you want to get fans like me to come back to back you guys up, guys, be better than what you guys are now. And I don't mean this in an insulting way, but you guys gotta grow up a bit. Can't bash us fans who criticize your work. If you make art in any way, guess what? If you put art out there, you're inviting people to judge it, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. George Lucas understood that, and he took all the criticisms. From my understanding, the criticisms were more towards the prequels than the originals. But George Lucas took all the criticisms like a man, like a grown-up. Yeah, you guys can't do that with the sequel trilogy. With the sister arc in the Clone Wars Season 7. Solo, Rogue One, or any other content that you guys put out there. You guys cannot take criticism? Like, really? And you guys wonder why fans like me prefer the George Lucas era Star Wars over you guys. So, that's the reason why. I know this is a lengthy video, but that is why that's how Disney made me appreciate Star Wars more. By being for not being able to, like, at least the George Lucas Star Wars era, for not being able to take criticism well, not exactly having a plan, for trying to force down our throats. Oh, if you dislike our characters, you're racist or sexist or whatever. If you guys, and other reasons too that I've said in the video before, makes me better appreciate Star Wars, but the George Lucas version. So, that's just me. So, where do you guys stand about Star Wars? Do you guys agree with me? Are you guys siding with me? Or what? Like, what is your guys' take on Star Wars? I should ask. What's your guys' take on Star Wars? Let me know in the comment section down below. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. May the Force be with us all. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.